Now inside of the in.php, opening PHP tag, and we start if isn't empty. We expect in the post, which will have a variable name of path. So if the path hasn't been empty, then we require once our autoload file. This time we have to go folder up, so two dots / inc autoload.php. After this one, folder variable and substring PHP function where we put our post path value, and we remove the first character, which will be the / basically. We want to get rid of the first one. And now we check if isn't empty. Post folder. Else, if folder has been empty, we will simply redefine these variables path equals root path, same way as it was in index.php when the page first loads. Rel equals ds and up variable equals null. So basically we know that we will be inside of the root folder. Okay, so we've got if folder isn't empty, then if isn't empty our folder variable, meaning if after removing this / we still have something there, because if we wouldn't, that would mean that obviously we only submitted the /, which is basically again the root folder. Then if it isn't empty, then rel variable will equal ds directory separator, then folder name, then ds, which is basically this. It may not just be one folder name, maybe just several folders separated by directory separator. Then post folder name, which we've passed separately. Then else, if it is empty, obviously this square bracket should be a curly ones. Otherwise, rel equals ds dot, and obviously the folder, new folder name. Okay, so that's it. And then after all this if else statements, here we go for up, which will be li class folder up, which is this arrow which we have for basically going back to the previous folder. Rel equals go -up and go up, just to indicate obviously what this link is going to do. Then we have path variable, which will be root path dot rel. This path variable obviously is used inside of this structure here to find the files inside of the relevant folder. So now we've got all this ready. If else statement, after this main if else statement, I'm going to create a few new lines because they're a little bit too low here. What we're going to do, we're going to use output buffering, so ob_start. Now we require once file called structure.php. Now obviously that all these variables here are freshly defined. We can obviously use them inside of this structure.php. Then out variable equals ob get clean. So we actually get the entire buffer from inside of this, from between opening and closing this get clean as a string, and we assign it to this out variable, and then echo JSON encode, because obviously we are expecting JSON array inside of our core.js file. Array and out variable, which will be basically returning the string generated within this structure.php. That's everything inside of this file. Now if we save all of these files, refresh the page. Now if I click on inc folder, you can see we go into the inc folder and we have autoload and config. Go up doesn't work yet, but if I refresh the page, go back here, go to the classes, you can see our helper.php class shows up, and the icon PHP obviously refers to the extension. So all this seems to be working fine going into the folders. Now let's move to the next video and figure out how we can actually go up one level, obviously the previous folder.